Outgoing Eastern Cape DA leader Nqaba Bhanga says the party aims to address racial inequalities in the country to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich. The party's provincial congress is underway in Graaff-Reinet today. The party is expected to elect a new provincial leader today. Lwando Nomoyi spoke to the outgoing leader in the province.
Well, thank you very much. We are at the DA's Eastern Cape Congress for the year 2023. We do understand that it is quite contested, between Andrew Whitfield and Chanel King. But we do have, the outgoing DA leader in the province, Nqaba Bhanga, just to elaborate, on his accolades within the Eastern Cape. We do understand that this Congress is attended by over 300 delegates from different branches in the Eastern Cape. Let's just rope in Nqaba Bhanga just to tell us, the Eastern Cape is very close to your heart. We do understand now you are very optimistic to go to national structures. Let's first talk about the Eastern Cape, the accolades that you've reached in your term in this province.
When I took over the leadership of the Eastern Cape, I made some commitments that I'm going to make sure that the DA in the Eastern Cape will become a united entity. That's why the DA in the Eastern Cape has been so resilient. Even when the DA in the country was facing difficulties, we were able to resist the pressure. And we've all kept even our seats in the provincial legislature because we built unity, we built a team of people who worked together. I did not do this alone, I did it with a team. And we became so successful. I made a commitment to take the Eastern Cape to rural areas, introduce us to the King. You'll remember when two kings were longe, to introduce the party and take it to areas where the Eastern Cape, the DA did not exist. Today we have a footprint in each and every ward in the Eastern Cape, which I'm proud of. And also we had 3 mayors. In 2016, Horatio, myself, and also a mayor in Sarabadman in Kokama. Therefore, we have been moving through that footprint. The other conversation, I said, the DA will discuss difficult conversations. And amongst these, I said, we have to discuss about non-racialism and the topics where people were uncomfortable to discuss. And that conversation of non-racialism is not only a conversation that's supposed to be of a DA, it's a conversation for all South Africans. And I took the DA to have a conversation about race in this country, in the context of building a non-racial South Africa. Professor Mdletyana led that conversation. It built us because the DA is the only party where there are white people, colored people, Indian people, and black people in the same. It's a true reflection of what South Africa is supposed to be. Therefore, when we discuss in the DA, it's not black people only, or colored people only, or Indian people. It's all South Africans having a conversation about South Africa. We had those difficult conversations in the Eastern Cape, and I'm proud that in this project of non-racialism, we had to confront that conversation. Not only that conversation, but an issue of ownership. Because one of the problems in building a non-racial society is that the poor is becoming more poor, the rich is becoming more rich. And we cannot truly achieve a non-racial society without us closing that gap. And we said we should be working towards closing that gap, that my children, Sbahle and Leah and Toriso, they should live in a society with Andrew Whitfield or Oliver, where they participate in South Africa without being judged on the basis of color scheme. But we cannot achieve that if we can't close the gap between the poor and the rich. And therefore that conversation is very important. The second issue that I think we made efforts on was to stand for small towns infrastructure. I've been very clear about the collapse of Mthatha, that under the ANC government, small towns have collapsed. Mthatha was a beacon of hope of people of the Eastern Cape. Under Matanzima himself, Mthatha was better. The Ciskei was better. Queenstown was better. Grahamstown was better. Under the ANC government, they've broken everything that our past have built. Whether our past was so bad, but there are good things that the past have created. The ANC have broken all of them. Ikwezilomso in Zwede, a school that was like a grey of the township. They've broken it down. Therefore, they break everything like children, When you give children glasses, they break everything. When you give ANC SOEs, they break everything. When you give ANC small towns, they broken all of them. Therefore, we had to fix this thing in the Eastern Cape in order for us to build an Eastern Cape economy, not a Nelson Mandela economy or Buffalo City economy, but an economy of the Eastern Cape that is going to uplift all of our people, particularly those who are disadvantaged and the poor and rural communities. But what the government of the ANC have done is to break that down. Therefore, what we need to do as a DA, the DA has got all the systems. This is the best party that South Africa can have. The systems I've seen in the DA, it's an only party that can take up the ANC. But what we need to do is towards the next 2 years, and have an emotional connection with the people, because the DA is a party that cares. It's a party that delivers. It's a party that runs government better. Therefore, what we need to do is to attach feelings. The people of South Africa want the DA to be a party that plays with them, that cries with them, that when they're facing difficulties, it's out there for them. We have to build that project, that connection. And I'm telling you, in 2024, the DA is going to be the true party that runs South Africa. That's how we're going to win majority of South Africans.